and everyone. Um, I'm just going to quickly address a couple of things that have been floating around on social media about students having this illegal rave. And in times like this that we're living in, I think students need to be able to blow off a little bit of steam and actually have the courage to go out. Yes, I know we're in a COVID situation in different tiers, but we have been made to look like scapegoats a lot. And I just want to sort of have my say on it. And I think what I feel is that we've been made to look like quite bad. We've been making look like we're the we're the victims here, and I think that's how we're being played. That when you attend something like this or an illegal rave, as we're not allowed to go out in these times, I think there needs to be somewhere somewhere that students can actually socialize and have a little bit of fun. Yes, I know we've got all these restrictions in place and everything, but I actually feel like that is kind of unfair that we've had to play the card that we've been played off for 6 months, and all this online learning, not a lot of nightlife, 10 o'clock curfew and all. But I actually feel like we should be addressing the problem at hand. Is how can students still enjoy being at university, especially when they're being made to look the victims of all of this. And I think where I sit is, yes, I also miss going out and seeing my friends and all. But I feel like when you attend something like an illegal rave, it needs to be kept quite low and probably not for people to record it so that it gets out, especially because it has now. And um, but I actually don't think you can keep people holed up inside, especially students. You can't keep students holed up inside for so long, because at some point the pressure is going to crack and something is going to happen. Like someone is going to actually um, someone is actually going to organize these events and something like that, right? But I think there also needs to be a point of where the line is drawn between what students are able to do. We should be able to have our own little thing where we can go out in the evenings, say from five till midnight every night, and then come in. Yes, I know a lot of students are isolating at the moment, but there also needs to be a line being drawn, where students need to blow off steam. Like for me, I can step out of my isolation at midnight tonight because my isolation finishes at midnight. But then I know that I won't actually be able to go to a club tomorrow. I won't be able to go. I won't be able to go to a friend's house because of their bubbles in their houses. So this is where I feel like there needs to be a compromise from either student from universities or from the government to be a bit more lenient on students having their social lives and seeing friends. Yes, you can go to the pub as much as you want, but to be home by 10 o'clock, you'd have to probably pre-drink throughout the day, which is quite lethal, and then you'd have to drink at the pub and then be in bed by 10. So in actuality, if you look at the statistics, it's the pubs are being forced to close and whatnot. But um, but I think there has to be some form of still social life, because especially where I am at my university and every other university in that instance, you can see the difference in people cracking under the pressure because of mental health and everything. And I feel like if you don't address these kind of things, then no one is going to actually no one's going to actually no one's really listening anymore. So I feel like from my point of view, we have to have a two-way thing where we either voice our opinions and what we want as students, or you don't have university because what are you off what is on the table at the moment for uni students is this online learning, so you kind of get 1 to 2 hours a week of interaction with seminars, and then online, and then you don't have anything to really look forward to at the end of a long week. You can't sort of say, well, it's Friday night and I'm getting ready to go out, which I would be doing if this was a normal situation usually, or a Saturday night. But I think this is where it all comes down to who's going to stand up first and say this is why the police, yes, okay, they can get involved and break up raves and whatever, but I don't think we've actually been thought of well enough that we can't do much together. We can't really do anything. Like sitting in my flat all day, every day for the last 2 weeks, it has been hard. But I think there has to be a line being drawn, and then saying you can only have X amount of people. Like I feel like the rule of six as well is something completely difficult, because if you have a group of 15 of you and you're all really really good friends and you can only go out with six, you kind of you kind of, the ones that you leave at home, you sort of say, like, we can't even do that unless you go 666. That's still 12, right? But then you risk a couple of people missing out if you are going out. And I actually feel like there's something that this is something also that needs to be addressed. The restrictions are so much that even now, as they say, it's getting worse. But there needs to be a point where in some of the restrictions you either lift the rule of six for a little while, and you you either provide more bit of a flexible curfew, which is not 10 o'clock is like you can't do anything else. Yes, you can have flat parties, but it gets boring after a while. And I think that there needs to be some sort of reasonable thing where we can come together as a group of students and say, um, you know, um, that we can do something about it. Uh, but yeah, I thought I'd do a quick video on that.